Hello and welcome to the next installment. I know it's been a while, and yeah, it's been quite a while since we went down this rabbit hole. And it's in case anybody else jumping on right now, this is Captain Jiggles here. Hello, and we are in the third episode now of my memorial video, which will be basically just my Pokemon Fire Red playthrough from now on. As you know, the start of this was a memorial, and it will continue as I want to take a trip down nostalgia lane as I am playing here. And anybody who's seen the first two videos, unfortunately, I lost the save file. I just got back to where I was with some slight changes to my crew, my Pokemon. I have my Jigglypuff, I still have my Magikarp, and I still have my Wartortle, but they're leveled up. So basically, it's like I did some light grinding. But yeah, with all that said, let's get into this. Oh, come on. My controller loves being a problem for me today. And I am using a controller this time, so hopefully it'll work out better. And yeah, I still got to the same area where I had the rival. So just a heads up. I'm also not sure if I got the second gym badge, but I beat everybody up until the gym badge, I think. So I have 5 levels additionally, 4 levels on that, and then a couple levels on Wartortle. I didn't do too much grinding, and I actually almost beat my rival last time. Last time I was, in this area, because I was just testing it out, and yeah, I almost beat the Bulbasaur. And as soon as you beat Bulbasaur, it's pretty much all easy going after that if you have enough items, which I am buying. Here, I will buy 5 of those, 2 of these, and 3 of these. I also did a test run with my rival, which, like I said, I almost beat him basically. Yeah, the reason I didn't beat him before was I was getting put to sleep. So I should be able to easily beat him now, and I think I don't think I actually have second. Oh, okay, I do have the second gym badge. So, if you guys missed it, I am sorry I couldn't record that because it was still the time I was still kind of trying to grind up. But now that I got that done, I'm going to hopefully be able to encounter my rival properly, and I'm going to save again because I have more items. So, yeah, this whole series is just a trip down memory lane, and I really enjoy it. I mean, I used to replay this game all the time, and I do have ideas for new series. If anybody wants to see the suggestions, go ahead and comment down below. I'll take anybody's suggestions if I can. I'm kind of on a budget right now, a really low budget at that. But still, I'm open for just suggestions right now. So, okay, this is what I did last time. I managed to flinch him and get a water gun off along with another tackle instead. But now I'm probably going to KO this guy without even worrying about it, because the thing that was worrying me last time when I was doing this was he actually managed to get a sand attack off on me, and I couldn't do anything against him. Whew, level up. Bulbasaur. Oh yeah, and I like to switch into Jigglypuff CN7. Obviously, if I lose, I'm going to have to do some grinding on screen, but that's fine. I have no issues with that. Sing. Ooh, yeah, that's right. Sing and Sleep Powder have very bad, I believe, accuracy, yeah. They don't hit very often, so I'm lucky that I managed to get a hit in before he couldn't hit me. And I actually have also another move that has very low accuracy. It's Mega Kick. And if I just two-hit Mega Kick him, that's going to be so bad, because that's the thing. My Jigglypuff was always low health whenever I was fighting the next Pokemon on the list. I think it's Abra. Yeah. And I think my Wartortle was fainted then. Like, I knew, Abra couldn't do anything against me. So my Wartortle was my Wartortle was already out and I had no revive, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll just, I was on the last Pokemon last time, and just Sleep Powders, man. For the longest time when I was doing this practice thing, it's just Sleep Powders, man. They were just constantly bugging me, and now on camera, Not even a problem. I was gonna switch into my, you know, my Magikarp to try and level him up a little bit more, but nah. Dang. I noticed something. My rival hasn't used any super potions yet, so I'm guessing that the AI doesn't allow him to until a certain point. So I think it's in, it's got to be after you get 4 gem badges, because I know that there was a couple of battles after that that I had to worry about him using a freaking potion, or it could just be the very late ones. Yeah, fame checker. I don't need this crap. Alright, now that I got this up to 23, I'm gonna swap to Magikarp and save. Already on a good start. Good roll, good plans, you know? And I think last time I was talking about getting Solar Beam and Sunny Day, probably because of the fact that I'm gonna have my Jigglypuff be up to level 100. Like, or, you know, up to that, obviously, without evolving ever. And then I might evolve it at level 100, I don't know, but I'm keeping that Jigglypuff as close to level, or close to, away, or as far away from evolving as possible. So, there we go. Can't speak words today, apparently. Alright. I would switch in Jigglypuff. Well, I should have, but my War Turtle kind of needs some XP anyways, so let's get some water guns going. If he puts in a hardened, you know, Mofo or a Cat or a Metapod or a Tuna, I'll end up doing that. But I think these guys are just Caterpies right now. Yeah, they're Weedles. So I'll switch with Magikarp and then go back to War Turtle because I hate Weedles. They're so bad. Just the fact that they can just poison you out of nowhere and just, you know. Especially early game, like when you're just trying to get through, get levels, not have as big of an issue with leveling up your Pokemon. Just because it's just annoyance factor. That's all it is. It's just annoyance. Like, oh, here, I'm just going to stab you, and I'm going to make sure that you bleed while you're walking. And you can't, you know, try and stop the process because that's not, you know, that's not how this game works. But yeah. Poison's just one of those things. I mean, flinching is interesting, to be honest, because, was I heard back when the original Red and Blue, I think it is? Yeah, Red, Blue, and Yellow were out? Yeah, they could, the flinching was dictated by your speed, or something like that. I'm like, what? So basically, anybody with, like, Razor Leaf, or no, criticals, it wasn't flinching, it was criticals that were dictated by your speed. And the problem with that is so weird, like, you'd think that criticals would never be dictated by your speed, but it is. Also, another thing, I don't think you can disable someone who's used Harden if it's their only move. Which is interesting, but also weird, because there is struggle in this version of the game. So you would technically just have them be struggling until they're, you know, disabling Warlock, but I guess that's not allowed for trainer battle? I don't know. I guess you just gotta have 2 different moves, otherwise it won't work, so. That's an interesting idea, though. Just delete all 3 of your other moves, and then just have 1 move, and you might be able to be immune from, disabling. But then again, disabling is such a low thing, like no one ever, unless there's like a really high disabling thing, you know, it wouldn't work. Yeah, I don't think disabling was ever really relevant. Yeah, I'm gonna keep swapping between Magikarp and Jigglypuff because I'm probably going to end up needing to take a pit stop after this. Actually, no, I probably will go to the next one and then take a pit stop. Because my power points in my Jigglypuff need to be recharged. And another thing, I really hope people are watching this because, you know, I'm probably going to end up making another series of this, or not this, but you know what I mean, like another series, and we'll see if maybe that one picks up too. But we'll see. I mean, this is all basically for me. and anybody who likes the idea of nostalgia. And we just got a critical hit! That was the fastest and cheapest XP I could have ever gotten. Oh man, that's good. But yeah, this is just a nostalgia trip for me, really. I love this game. And ironically enough, I've never actually taken a Magikarp and a Jigglypuff through this game. Even though I wanted to, at several points in my playing this game, I just would always skip past the Jigglypuff, and I'd get the, I'd always have a habit of taking the Magikarp and storing it in the daycare guy, so I wouldn't have to level him, so I could just sit back and let the guy do my work for me. And I never actually got him until he was like level 19, so I could just level him up once and have a Gyarados. But that's obviously not good, but it's a lot better than everything else. I mean, shoot, leveling this guy up wasn't too hard at first. Like, I only leveled him up during trainer battles and towards the end of Mount Moon, and man, it doesn't take long for him. He's a very lowly Pokemon. That's probably why. It doesn't take long for Jigglypuff either. Probably they're both first stage Pokemon. So, and also I don't think I picked up all the items that I picked up last time in Mount Moon. There's several I missed. I think there was a revive in there, and I don't need revives right now. I'm doing just fine without them, but it's just the idea of having an extra in case of emergency item. Because that would have been useful in any, gym battle. Like, for instance, the Misty battle is really good example of that, because she does that water pulse that is a very bad move to go up against. It confuses you, and it's just royally hard to do anything when you're confused. But, ironically enough, I think the Staryu is giving me a little bit more trouble than I thought, because he had, like, Sonic Wave, or what is it called? Confuse Ray, or whatever it's called. I forget what, it's not Confuse Ray, it's something else, it's Sonic Pulse or something like that gives you confusion as well. And he uses that, and I know it has low accuracy, but again, the same thing with the Sleep Powder. It was constantly hitting me for some reason, and then as soon as I started, I think I started trying to record the Misty battle. As soon as I said I was going to start recording, I think it just petered out and said, I'm not going to give you, confusion anymore because you're on camera. I've got to impress the fans. But, it is what it is. So, and talking to an audience like this is very odd for me after so long. It's been like, 2 years? And that's a long time, and I was never relevant. So, it's not like I have a lot of people angry at me for not uploading, so that's good right now. But if I get anywhere at all with my channel, I'm gonna really have to try and at least upload once a week. Like, at absolute minimum, if I have some really bad stuff going on right now, I would have to upload at least once a week. That way, because I like making YouTube videos. It's the saddest thing about it was the fact that that's like the biggest thing I missed from those 2 years, because my laptop broke down. That was the biggest thing I was missing, was the fact I couldn't get on YouTube. I couldn't, play games with my friends. Alan Lair, and do some more 1v1s and see how, put up the dukes, see how bad my rust is and how badly I would get my butt whooped. But, it's just what it is. What it is. And that 1v1, I think I still have it on my channel. Oh man, that's funny. Oh man, oh yeah, that's right. And I think there was another one before that I couldn't upload because for whatever reason it didn't let me record my gameplay. So that one was even funnier because I was pretty much whooping him, and I think it's still on Alan Lair's channel, so look it up if you don't, or you haven't already seen it. Alan Lair is a YouTube channel. I don't think he does YouTube anymore, like YouTube videos anymore, but if he does, look it up. So, they're busy gaming and stuff like that, just like me. Anybody curious? I play a lot of, Xbox games. I don't have a PS4, but I have a Nintendo Switch. I just can't record off that right now. And this is on a PC, which might actually be able to run some of that stuff, like the Xbox app. So, all things considered, I might end up, eventually going on to Xbox games too. Just let me know which games you guys want me to see me play. If I have them, I'll definitely play them. Or maybe I'll just put up a list of games on like the community tab, whatever it's called, and we'll see what goes from there. Because I'm you know, if I have a bunch of games and there's like 2 or 3 you'd like me to see me play on a consistent basis, or rather, you know, you want me to see my reactions, or you're curious on what the heck it's all about. Like, I have some 360 games that are compatible, and one of them's like a pseudo Final Fantasy kind of game. You know, it's like an RPG game, but it's pretty good. It's actually really good. And oh wow, one of my dolphin things just downloaded. That's cool. Goodbye, thank you. Also, another thing, I know a lot of people are probably just, if anybody sees this and realizes what I'm running on an emulator, they might end up saying I'm cheating, which I'm not. I am not using save states. I don't even have. Well, I have the button mapped on my controller for the speed button, but that's about it. I don't even have screen captures or anything else unlocked on that. That's why. But the main thing is, I don't want to use save states, because that's obviously cheating. You could just keep on doing things and just save scum it. Like, but that's the thing, certain other games have a built-in save scum to them that you're meant to use. For example, Mega Man Battle Network 1, because I've never played any of the other Mega Man Battle Network games. I know Blasphemy, for anybody who loves Mega Man, but after I only was able to afford Mega Man 1, I loved the hell out of it, but then when I got an emulator, I played 2 for like 5 minutes, and I could not stand the changes. Like, the changes were so, like, aesthetically... I don't know, it was the aesthetic of Mega Man that just changed so much. I'm not sure if it was 2 or 3, but I couldn't handle them. Like, no, this isn't my Mega Man anymore. I mean, I love the original, and I know it was, you know, it was cheesy, it was grindy, but that's kind of what I liked. I liked grindy games where you could just grind on in and get and the reward was really good for grinding, because like you could get like hero swords that would just one-shot 90% of the enemy types in the game, and then if they didn't get one shot, they were at like 50 health, so you could just wipe them out with another one, another weak-ass chip, and it'd just be done. And it's just, oh man, I'm gonna play that game too. I have an idea for Mega Man Battle Network. If anybody wants to see it, I am going to do that for show. I kind of wish I had someone else to play this with, though. Like, I have a couple of friends, but almost all of them are just completely not anywhere nearby, so it's a problem, really. I'm gonna shift into War Tour to make sure he don't die. I don't want my Jigglypuff to die. He's my mascot. He's my friend. Also, another thing I've been getting into kind of since I've been where I am now, I've obviously moved, or whatnot, is, ironically enough, voices. I can kind of do some impressions, and I'm trying my best to get them down, but the problem is, over a mic they sound good, but on the audio recording, I'm pretty sure they would sound bad. I might start testing around and recording myself, you know, doing the voices and seeing how accurate they actually are to in-game characters, like video game characters. Like, I could do Reaper, maybe, and I know I can do Reinhardt if I just figure out if it sounds accurate enough, over the mic. Because, you know, the mics, when they're here, it's really easy to get close and the sound really sounds good, but when it's here, it's a lot further and travels and gets kind of, I don't know, there's something lost in translation with the mics and the webcams. So, and I might eventually get like an actual mic so I can talk, but, oh man, I don't know how much those are going to cost, so. But back to this game. For real, how basic it is, it does a lot with what it had. Like, it adds, you know, what was it? It adds new areas to the formula and whatnot. Hang on a second. Do I have an antidote? Yes, I do. And I'm gonna use a super potion as well. But yeah, they added to it. I know it's not as good as, you know, Silver and Gold, because, you know, that's how you make a sequel, memes be beams, but the idea of giving extra areas was good. They at least somewhat continued that in this remake. And they didn't have to do that either. They had an interesting story, and I don't even know where... I'm not sure in the original Red and Blue if you could catch the legendary birds. Like, I'm not that well versed. I know you could probably catch Mew, too, in Cerulean Cave, but when it comes to, like, the other things, like, I think it was Moltres is in the Mount Amber, or whatever it's called, in the first island that you go to, and you know you can't get there until late game. But that's the thing; like those weren't in the original Red and Blue, so I don't know where they would have had them. Like Mount, no, it wouldn't be Mount Blue. I don't know. Oh no, wait, no, I think I do. I think someone told me once it was in Victory Road. I don't know. That might be a weird place to put them, like a very off place at Victory Road where you can only get to later, maybe. But yeah, the idea is really good to have, you know, like 7 islands and whatnot. And the bonus islands were kind of gimmicky, and it was like for an event thing, I think, with the passes. But the original 7 islands were a pretty good idea, considering the fact that that also makes sense with the Team Rocket thing. Speaking of which, them having a base off of Kanto, to where they would technically be about out of the jurisdiction of Kanto, which is good, which means they can easily just put people into Kanto from there, which is really close to Kanto. It's just they don't have to worry about someone raiding them on where they're being criminals at. Like no retaliation is basically the thing, unless people found out where their headquarters was, but that's very unlikely. So, yeah, I mean, this game is one of my top favorites of, you know, my childhood. Another one I like playing a lot is Rock and Roll Racing, but that's the problem with it. It's in a Super Nintendo game, and it's really old. It's a battle racing kind of game, so it's very in need of concentration. Like, I would have to be very concentrated playing, and I would not be able to engage anybody or really talk that much. Although, you know, let me know in the comments if I just sound annoying, in which case I might upload one, and you might like me being silent for once. I chuckle myself up sometimes, or really crack myself up. But, yeah. The idea of it is really just, you know, nostalgia trip. Appreciate how well they did the sequel. Not as good as the best it could have been, but that's the thing. When you're competing with Silver and Gold, they were making brand new games. That's another thing I was going to mention. They were making brand new games, like from Red and Blue and Yellow to Silver and Gold. Those were brand new games, so they already had the old assets from the Kanto region, and then they also put them in Johto. So Johto plus that, which is super easy to do, but you know, it was a one-time thing. I really hope that Pokemon Switch does that, though, where it just lets you go through all of them. That would just be so amazing. Or even, you know, making the a triumphant return from a previous region we've already seen that doesn't have a lot of Pokemon, or rather wouldn't have had a lot of Pokemon, but now does. Anybody who gets that reference, definitely a good fan of Pokemon, because you don't stop, and you could add all of the freaking mechanics there. Although I don't know, maybe not, maybe I don't know. I'm thinking that more and more that game wouldn't be as adaptable as I think it would be, but then again, it's a really good idea, and it's just I don't know. I mean, I would think that maybe it would be it'd be a very unique idea to do what I'm thinking. And anybody who doesn't know, I'm sorry, but you're not going to get a solid, concrete answer out of me. But basically, there's a region in the game series, all the series of games, where there's no wild Pokemon, basically, and eventually, after the second iteration of the game, there are, in very small patches, and it's like a desert. So, you know, it's got like a desert theme to it, for the most part. And, you know, that's probably a dead giveaway, but, you know, that's the thing. Do your own research if you have to. And the thing is, the region could also be very easily populated. Like, I know everybody's saying, oh, it's a desert, you know, you can only have desert Pokemon. There's so little desert Pokemon, you know? And actually, no, it's a very easy idea, which is, ironically enough, just a simple, you know, mashup of things. Like, take a theme and then focus on it, and you know, base everything off of that. For instance, my idea was, since it's like a majority of it is a desert region, and it's got a lot of caves to it as well. I think mainly it's got a lot of underground areas, and the funny thing about that is you could easily have it all fossil Pokemon, like all the fossil Pokemon from every previous generation coming in, and then they base it off of fossil Pokemon, saying, oh, all these fossil Pokemon were deep underground, and now they're coming up with the new wild Pokemon in these patches, and now the entire world is covered with the fossil Pokemon that no one's ever seen. And that'd be a really good way of introducing Generation 8, because it's unique, it's mostly got a particular type set up. I mean, you don't have to, it could just, you know, because what was it? I know, what was it? I think it was Generation 6 or 7 that introduced a whole lot of fighting type Pokemon. And, you know, that's a pretty good idea, you know, a majority of Pokemon, and that's another idea. Like, instead of fighting type, be rock type. I know it's blasphemy, because water types will just destroy it, but, you know, give them a lot of steel rock types or whatever. The ones that have resistances to water, you know. Oh, shoot. And that would be a very good idea, and I know probably everybody's like wondering, like, why are you rambling so much, and, you know, why are you on a Pokemon Center of all reasons? You know, obviously my Jigglypuff is fainted, I mistakenly swapped him in, but, actually, so here's what we're gonna do. I only got like 2.5 minutes left on my recording, so what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna try and sneak by all the people and get to Steven, or I think it's his name's, no, it's Bill in this one, right? Forgot. So hang on, I'm gonna try this. So this is gonna be a battle. Basically, I'm gonna try and get to Bill and figure out his whole quest, and make sure I can get the item I need from him. And then once I do that, then I'll end the episode there. Yeah, I forgot. Nidoran's got pet. That's another thing. I was thinking about getting a Nidoran male to evolve into Nidoking, just because of the fact it's a really good, you know, bulky Pokemon. But then I realized, you know, it's not going to be a good idea. Yeah, 5. Damn. Alright. Sorry to be a XP hog, guys, but, you know, Wartortle needs it. And ironically enough, I just remembered this. An old thing I did in the last playthrough I did. Oh man, it was hilarious. I couldn't believe it myself. I evolved my Wartortle into Blastoise before I even challenged my rival on the SSN. Like, I had my Wartortle up that much from there, and I even had a full team too, like a full team that was relatively close levels. And it was ridiculous. It was completely ridiculous. I couldn't believe it when he evolved. I'm like, it evolved? Oh shoot, I guess I did, oops. You know, the big oops moment. And then I went against my rival with just my Blastoise. I just put him in front saying, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if I get get hit really hard by his Ivysaur. But, yeah, it's a title. But no, I wiped the entire team with just my Blastoise, and that was just sad. I was like, wow, I mean, I guess third evolutions really are overpowered, considering. Here's my alarm. Alright, it won't be too much longer. But yeah, you know, rate, comment below, you know, whatever. Anything you want to see me play on Xbox, if it's, even if it's something that I don't have, I might consider it. If I'm considering buying it personally already, I might just buy it just to play it on this channel and just get stuff on it. I obviously love this game to death, really. It's my first game, and it's a game I really want to, you know, dig my teeth into, really. But yeah, you know, if you guys have suggestions, I'm more willing to hear them. And if you guys want to know exactly what I have on my Xbox, you know, library, basically, or essentially, I'm more than willing to listen to it, because I wouldn't mind playing a couple of Xbox games, particularly that RPG that I was talking about, since it's actually really good to it's kind of like a really good introduction to RPGs. It's not too heavy in the RPG aspect, but it's got a good, and it's also got a good enough story to keep you engaged, even though, because of the fact it's backwards compatible now, they didn't update anything with it, so, you know, like, they haven't made a remastered version, which I wish they would. I would pay full price again just for the remastered version of that game, because the lip syncing's off. But it's like it feels like a Japanese game. You know, like a Japanese, a port of a Japanese game. Oh boy, another battle. But yeah, it feels like a port of a Japanese, you know, it's a Japanese game ported and dubbed in English. But, it's not. It's actually got, like, certain characters you can tell are actually mainly English. So it's kind of feels like it, but that's only because of the fact of how kind of campy it gets. But it's only like 2 or 3 spots, really. The story's really compelling, actually, and, you know, I like it. It's just, oh man, it throws difficulty spikes on you, too. That's pretty bad. But, as long as you're not, you know, what was it? I had to grind, and, yeah. I think at the end, that's when you have to grind, for the most part. Most of the time, you don't have a problem with grinding. Like, you grind a little bit here and there, just to get your levels up on characters you don't play a lot, and that's it. And then at the end, towards the end, you do have to grind, I think, at least, like, you have to grind your main battle team up a bit, just to make sure you don't die. But that's no big deal, because, you know, like, the game doesn't force a grind on you, it just makes it to where it'll become easier the more you grind, and, you know, you can do the same thing with, what was it, save scumming, basically. Save near an area, grind like 5 or 6 waves of enemies, save, do it again, keep going until you die accidentally, and something like that. You know, and just, because obviously I think the save point in that game is a heal spot too. Oh yeah, and the other thing, the Battle Network thing, the save scumming, the thing I was gonna say. Yeah, there's a chip trading machine in that, and when you trade chips, I'm skipping all this dialogue because, you know, obviously I know how this got. This is all read though. I screwed up an experiment and got combined with a Pokemon. So how about it? Help me out here? Yes, of course, Bill. Alright, then I do. Alright. So yeah, you get save scum, and basically what would happen is you trade in 3 chips, get a single one, or trade in 10 chips, get a single one, and they have better odds for the 10 one. You could just save, you know, dump all your junk chips in, and if you weren't satisfied with all the chips you got, you could just reset. Reset the Game Boy, do it all over again. I mean, sure, it was tedious as hell, but it was obviously a way of doing it to where you could just, you know, get chips you wanted. Basically, do 10, reset, do 10, reset. And I did, like, do 10 trades, and then reset, because, you know, I don't care about my chip counts as much as everybody else. Like, everybody wants to just conserve on everything and, you know, get maximum profits, but, you know, I didn't care. I was just looking for a certain loadout, basically. So, alright, this is going to do it for my playthrough so far. We officially beat our rival, which is something I kind of got held up on last time. I thought I was going to beat him, but apparently not. Although, look at my levels. I was pretty badly leveled last, and now I am decently leveled for right now. When I come back, I will be going through those battles on the other side again, like all the other ones we just skipped, for instance, and then I'm going to go back down and around and get that item. But other than that, that's everything, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.